Child Impact International is an organization that gives hope and fosters permanent, positive change in the lives of disadvantaged children and their communities. Countries include Zambia, Kenya, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. Child Impact's investment in the lives of more than 3,500 children continues to yield infinite returns. Outreach spans from child rescue operations to providing an education and a home for deaf and blind children and orphans. Above all, Child Impact's sponsors give hope to the ones who need it the most.
Welcome to Hope in Motion. My name is Jason Churchwell, and I'm the new field director at Child Impact. Now, as you've just seen, Child Impact International is actively working around the world to not only save children, but also to enable them to have a brighter future in this world and especially in the world to come. When we meet someone new from another country, it's easy to make assumptions about them, what they probably eat, believe, or have as their occupation. While people from the same country often have many things in common, each person is still an individual with their own unique hopes, dreams, and outlook on the world. The same is true for the children that Child Impact sponsors. Each and every child has a unique personality, skills, and a dream that God has given them. The unfortunate reality of this world is that circumstances either divert or entirely destroy the futures of these precious little ones. For some, it's being born into a poverty-stricken family, or losing one or both parents, while others are bound in the shackles of modern-day slavery. And for others, it's navigating through life without vision or hearing in a world that's designed for people without disabilities. For most, there's a combination of several of these factors. In this episode, we'll meet two students that are being empowered to reach the individual goals that God has placed in their hearts. Both attend the School for the Blind in Bobbili, India. The first student is Siam. Like most of the students that attend this school, he was born blind. When Siam was 3 years old, his mother died, leaving him and his 3 sisters without a mom. Siam comes from a very small village that is an 8-hour drive away from the school. A neighbor, touched by Siam's situation, brought him the long distance to the school in the hope that they could help Siam. At first, Siam had trouble adjusting to the new environment away from his home.
Actually, when I had entered into this campus, that time I was too small. That time I am 5 years old. That time I thought that where I came, where are my parents, and where are my relatives, where are my sisters. I saw here that where everybody are there hearing. I am hearing their voices, new voices, but I am not hearing my parents' voice. So I used to cry a lot for my parents. So I used to feel so sad when I came here, and after some years and after some days, I thought that this school is like my home. I feel this school it has my home.
Siam was able to think of the school as his home because of how dedicated and loving the teachers and staff are to each of the students. They help the students to know that God cares for them and has a plan for them individually. The teachers also encourage their students academically, helping them to focus not on their disability, but on all the abilities that God has blessed them with. This realization has made Siam excited about school.
I like my favorite subject, economics, because I put more interest upon economics subject, and I having one more subject, that is English. When I came to this school, that time only I had learned how to speak in English from little bit. Now I can speak good English in this school. I want to take a BCom group, and after finishing that, I have my goal that I want to become a railway officer, a very good dignity officer. So I feel that God will fulfill my desire.
Siam's dream to become a railroad officer is only made possible because of generous sponsors like you. Siam is very grateful for the sacrifices that his sponsors have made in order to give him an education.
I express my good gratitude to my sponsors because there are some blind children who doesn't have proper education, but I'm a very lucky person. God had sent me here to study in this school. Sponsors who are rendering their good service to me. Because of them, I am studying right now, and because of them, I can able to speak good English. And how my sponsors are struggling and they're doing to me in future. I also want to do a good service like my sponsors who doesn't have proper studies.
It's incredible to see the positive impact that sponsorship has on the lives of students. It not only changes their lives, but also plants the desire to change the lives of other children that are in need. Another student who's benefited from sponsorship is Varalaxmi. She was born visually impaired. Her family is poor and lives in a small village about 12 miles away from the blind school. Her father does odd jobs as a day laborer. The lack of consistent work means that Varalaxmi's family is unsure whether their father will have work the next day and food on the table. Varalaxmi's mother is sick at home, suffering from kidney failure. Varalaxmi would not have had much of a future at her village, but thankfully, her grandfather had heard about the school for the blind and visually impaired and contacted them about his granddaughter's situation. While Varalaxmi was excited for the opportunity to go to school, the new surroundings took some getting used to.
That first day when I came here, I am feeling very sad. I am missing my parents and I worried about my family. I am afraid to be here, but after some days I feel very happy. All of my friends are caring me very well and my teachers also care me very well.
Varalaxmi's experience at the school has given her inspiration for what career she will have in the future.
I want to become a teacher. Why I choose this profession means we can change the student's life and we can make two students doctor, engineer, lawyer. We can make them to great. That's why I choose this profession and I was inspired by my teachers, and my teachers is caring us as own children. That's why I want to become teacher. My favorite subject is English. I want to talk with my sponsor in English. That's why I want to learn English. I like that English. I am thankful to my sponsor. My sponsor is doing hard work. I pray to God to bless them. I never forget their help.
For both Varalaxmi and Siam, education is the most important thing that they would recommend to other children who have a disability like blindness.
I want to encourage them in studies because studies are best thing in our futures, because if with studies we can get good talent also, and with studies we can think on our minds that I can do my own job, or I can establish one company, or whatever the thoughts you want. With studies only you can do, and with studies only you can have anything. Without studies we cannot able to do anything.
There are so many people like me in the village. Don't depend on others. We can achieve something in our lives, and we have special schools. Our teachers make us very great in our lives. Don't feel sad and don't worry about anything. We can live independently and we have very great future.
Siam and Varalaxmi are just two of the hundreds of blind and deaf students that have experienced the life-changing power of education. The education that these students receive is not limited to the classroom. Every day they are not only taught, but also shown the transformative power of the gospel. For Varalaxmi, the message of the gospel has given her a love for one particular day, the Sabbath.
I like that Sabbath day. We fresh up and we will go to church and we will know so many things about Jesus. My teachers is leading us in right way forward to Jesus, and we have 11 hour and we have AY program in the evening. I like that day so much, and I felt very happy to do that activities.
It is so heartwarming to see the love that Varalaxmi has for the Sabbath, and even more than that, for the Lord of the Sabbath. If she had never left her village, she probably would have never heard about God or the Sabbath. The School for the Blind and Visually Impaired is doing such an amazing work in helping children who would otherwise languish in their poor villages. These children are being given the opportunity to have a choice in their future. That choice not only applies to this world, but even more importantly, the world to come. Sponsors like you make these stories a reality. No matter where you are, your sponsorship facilitates the spreading of the gospel to children around the world. Thank you, and may God bless.
Have you ever thought about which of the 5 senses you would choose to lose if you had to? Personally, I would pick the sense of smell. Due to seasonal allergies, I'm often missing this important sense, and sometimes that's a good thing, actually. I don't know if anyone would choose to lose hearing or sight. These senses are so critical to everyday living. Life without these senses is fraught with danger. Children especially become vulnerable and in many countries are ostracized and rejected. At Child Impact, we operate a number of what we call special needs projects. This includes the deaf school, a blind school, and a number of orphanages. We have seen the impact that sponsorship can provide for these precious children. They find a place of safety where they can flourish despite the challenges that they face. As you might imagine, special needs demand extra support staff and resources in order to provide the required educational and housing environment. We want these students to thrive and have the best opportunities available. The monthly sponsorship amount for these children covers close to half of the actual expense. This is why the Blind, Deaf, and Orphan Fund is so critical. This fund fills the gap between sponsorship and the actual cost. I'd like to invite you to support these special needs children by donating to the Blind, Deaf, and Orphan Fund. You can do that on our website at childimpact.org, or you can call 423-910-0667. Thank you for your generosity on behalf of these amazing children.